I'm searching out the rarest cars in America, on the back roads, hiding in barns, untold secrets of pure muscle and steel just waiting to be discovered. Gold on wheels. Oh my gosh. My name is John Hames, and it's my journey to find them. Yeah, hello, gorgeous. Look at that. I am the American Car Prospector. The American Car Prospector is on the prowl.
John is scouting a residential neighborhood for some American muscle.
I got nothing here.
And is having no luck whatsoever. It's starting to look like a bust for the American Car Prospector.
Oh, wait a second, what is that? Oh, yeah. I was on a residential prowl and not having too much luck, and I was coming down this street, and at the top of this cul-de-sac about almost a block away, sticking out of the garage, I could see the back end of a Corvette. Looked like maybe a 63, 65, something like that. And I like that. It looks like it's not a garage queen. It looks like he actually drives that, which is always my preference. Oh, yes, sir. Look at this. This guy likes to maintain his cars and his vehicles. It looks like he might even be in there. Yep, that looks like about a 65 Roadster right there. Maybe a 66. Yeah, he's in there. Make sure I don't block the neighbor's driveway. Let's go find out what this guy has to say about that little Stingray right there. Anybody here?
Yeah.
Hey, buddy, you ever thought about selling that Corvette?
No, it's not for sale.
Definitely not.
No.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I appreciate your time. I just was wondering if maybe you thought about selling it.
No, I don't really plan to. I've owned it a long time. Don't really think I'm going to sell it. So.
Have you? What year is it?
66.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I drive up, and this guy's in the garage, and he's working on his truck, parks next to this beautiful Corvette Stingray, silver, black top, black interior, awesome car. I mean, crazy great car. Anyway, he was a little reluctant at first. I just introduced myself to him and asked him if, maybe he'd ever thought about selling it, and he flat out told me no. Appreciate your time. I'm sorry I bothered you.
Sure.
Yeah, have a good day, okay?
You too. Thanks.
It looks like the American Car Prospector won't be getting his hands on this Stingray anytime soon.
What, hang on a minute. What do you have in mind exactly?
Kind of a big guy too, and so I just backed right up onto the driveway and was just about ready to get back in the truck, and he said, well, what'd you have in mind? Hey, I'm John.
John, I'm Mark.
Hi, Mark, how are you?
Good.
I have a lot of buyers for classic cars, and some of these buyers are overseas. They pay premium prices because they know that I find really good cars. I may not have the cheapest one of its type, but I'll probably have the best one. And I just get the feeling that that's a pretty good car. You say you've owned it a long time?
Yeah, about 30 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad and I bought it back in about '84, and been working on it ever since.
Would you mind just showing it to me? I mean,
Sure.
I love cars, buddy, and I love Corvettes.
Sure.
You drive this now and then, don't you?
Yeah, I drive it a bunch. Not a ton in the wintertime, but yeah, it gets driven. I've owned it, I've owned it for 30 years. So
30 years.
Pretty much not restored, but rebuilt everything in it from the ground up. So it was kind of built to be driven.
And which engine is it?
Small block.
Yeah.
350s in it. Yeah.
With a 4-barrel?
Yep.
And then it has a 4-speed?
Yep.
Wow. I love it. I mean, look, I love cars, and I especially love Corvettes. And I'd like to look at it. Do you mind if we just roll it out so we can, just open the doors and maybe look at it for a minute? Would you do that for me?
Absolutely.
I know you're busy, and I don't want to take a lot of time, but yeah, let's roll it out. I'd love to hear it start and just take a look at it.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Wow. How cool is that? Nice. Just tell me a little bit about the car. This is a 66.
66. It was original small block car. Like I said, I've kind of gone through it all, redone all the interior, new leather seats, new carpet, all that. From the ground up, everything's been redone. New suspension, new springs, ball joints, tie rod ends, put a new aftermarket power steering unit in it. I mean, the engine's, pretty much been gone.
Wow.
Through, so.
Look at that. That's an aftermarket radiator as well.
Oh yeah, yep.
So this thing's a pretty stout driver is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it runs pretty well.
Most of the people that work with me are interested in a resto mod because look, it didn't drive that well when it was built back in the 50s or 60s. Now, if you put some performance parts and some of our more modern pieces on it, it will run and drive a lot better. This car, this Stingray, was built to drive. Wow. How many cubic inch?
350, and then it's bored 30 over. So.
It's a 30 over 350.
Yep.
And then which carburetor is that?
It's a Speed Demon.
Okay. And that's a vacuum secondary?
Mechanical.
Mechanical secondary.
Yeah.
So this is your driver. You actually take this out in the summer and put the top down.
Yeah.
See the interior?
Sure.
Great, Mark. Thank you very much. I just love Corvettes, and it's obvious that you really care about this car,
It looks as though John is trying to soften up the owner of this 66 Stingray and make a deal.
Look, half the world's for sale, the other half can be bought. It's a really great car. What about $35,000? No. You don't want to even talk.
No.
After a long day of prospecting with no payoff, things are finally starting to look up for John. He stumbled upon a pristine 66 Stingray with a buyer that may be willing to let the car go. But John is starting to realize that the price of the car may be more sentimental value than overall worth.
Look, half the world's for sale, the other half can be bought. What about $35,000?
No.
You won't even talk?
No.
Okay, I tried.
Let's go up about 30,000 on that.
Like 60 grand?
Yeah. Let's start there. Yeah.
I can't give you 60 for it. You were at 65 a second ago.
Sure.
I can't pay 60,000 for it, but I have a strong interest in this car. I can tell that it's been taken care of. To me, I'm happy that you modified it so it drives better. Truthfully, they didn't drive very good back in the day. They didn't really steer that great. As you say, you put an aftermarket steering pump on it, so it drives more like a contemporary car.
Exactly.
So yeah, you did some work to it, and I think that's a good thing. And the people that I work with are people that generally drive their cars. I don't know. What about 40 G's? Cash?
Nah, that's still a little low.
I'm still short, huh?
Yeah, I think we're still a little too low on that.
Well, let me walk around it again, Mark. I mean,
Sure.
Look, I don't want to take a lot of your time, and like I say, Corvettes are real easy to sell, so you don't really need me to sell it. It's just maybe whether today's the day. Well, let me look at it again here for a second. We were at 40,000?
Yeah,
Maybe, yeah.
40,000 and a no.
And a no, a 40,000 and a no.
Yeah.
Well, let me walk around it a second more. It's just beautiful. I mean, this is just right in my wheelhouse. This is how I like them, ready to drive. It's not, you don't have to worry about it if it gets a door ding.
Exactly. It's got
You
a couple.
can take it to the show and let kids sit in it.
Yep.
You can take it out to the track and stretch it out a little bit on a nice day like today,
Yep.
There's probably not too many people out at High Plains this afternoon, and
Probably not.
You know, you could probably take it and stretch it out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal car. I mean, you know, in Chicago, we could have looked all day and we would have found the car and it would have a rusty frame.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's high noon and I haven't had lunch and I'm getting a little cranky. You take $48,000 for it?
Sold.
48,000?
48.
Thank you, brother.
Got it.
I appreciate you, man. I really do. I know you don't really want to sell it, but you got that Mustang look in your eyes.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever be able to get that one back, but...
Are you going to need counseling when we come and get it?
I might shortly after, yeah.
Let's tally things up. Purchase price on this 1966 Corvette Stingray, $48,000. John's prospector fee for this extraordinary car, $3,000. It looks like John will be offering this car to his buyers group for $51,000. A fully restored 66 Stingray can be priced at over $60,000, making this a great investment for John's buyers group at only $51,000. I just hope that Mark can deal with his detachment issues once this car is gone.
It's going to be kind of weird because, yeah, like I said, I've had it for 30 years. So it not being in the garage is going to be a little bit different, but I'm sure I can find something to take its place.
Another ace in the hole for the American Car Prospector. Somebody's got to be me. I love being me.
When we come back, the American Car Prospector may have gotten a little bit more than he bargained for while prospecting a rare Buick Fastback.
What the hell are you doing over here?
Oh, hey, buddy.
So far, the American Car Prospector has been able to secure a gorgeous 66 Stingray from his new friend Mark. John thought he was done for the day, but really, he is on the trail of something big.
And I'm pretty sure it's not an 86 Chevy station wagon because that's what we got right there. There's something down here. What's in that garage right there? Well, I'd had a pretty good day so far because I found that silver Corvette convertible that I was able to acquire from my buyer from Mark. And I thought I was going home, but I went right down his street and made a turn, and there sitting on the street was a 1950 Buick Fastback. Look at that, right there. That is some heavy metal right there below the American flag. Boy, you gotta love that. Okay, now if I'm right, that's a 49 or a 50 Buick Special, a Fastback. That's the one that has the 8-cylinder overhead valve. I think they call it the Dynamatic transmission. And that looks like a complete car. It may even run and drive. It doesn't look like it's ran and drive in a while, but that looks like just exactly what my guy is looking for. A nice, heavy metal, 50s, classic American car. Yeah, that's got the original paint, it's got the original glass. I like it. Let's take a look at this. Yes, sir, that's the old Buick Special, the 2-door Fastback. Looks like it hadn't run in a while. It looks like a pretty good car. I don't see a lot of surface rust. There's no rust under there at all.
What the hell are you doing over here?
Oh, hey, buddy. Listen, I just saw this car and I didn't know maybe if it was for sale. I'm John.
Well, John, you're another one who wants to sell or buy, huh?
What's your name?
I'm Larry. I get people stop by all the time want to buy this thing.
Is that right?
Yeah. But nobody ever wants to pay. So,
Everybody,
no, it's not for sale.
everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die, huh?
Yeah. All I want to do is talk about it.
Well, you know,
I kind of got a lot going on over here.
yeah, I can see that. Well, could I just ask you a couple questions about it?
Well, I suppose.
How long you owned it, Larry?
I've had it about 12, 13 years, I think.
Yeah. This is a special, a two-door?
It's a 50 Buick Special two-door.
It's a 50?
Yeah.
Where'd you get it?
I found it in an old barn out in Iowa. I used to live out there.
Really?
But yeah, it's been a good machine. She's a runner.
It runs?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I hadn't started in 3 or 4 months, but I bet it'd pop right off.
So the really cool part about this fastback Buick was that it had 70,000 original miles. It has that straight 8, and all the decals and the paint and everything were absolutely original on this car. This car had never been touched. Well, hey, I know you said that it isn't for sale, but I just want to ask you, at this point, would the money make you happier than letting it sit here on the curb? Just in case it might be for sale. I mean, if maybe you might consider.
John, everything's for sale, even me.
Yeah?
Yeah, if the price is right. But I ain't never had anybody come by who had the right price. Everybody wants something for nothing,
Right.
So, I don't know, it's got a lot of intrinsic value. If somebody were to give me the right price on it, it might be the right time right now. I don't know. I kind of had some plans for it, but I got some pretty cool stuff that goes with this car too that might be a little bit extra.
What an awesome car. Ridiculously great car.
So check this out, what I got here. This is my new garage. Because I'm doing that addition on my house, I had to pack everything in here. So I got a couple things here. Let's see. There's the Stephen King book.
Yeah, we got to have the From a Buick 8 by Stephen King. That goes with the...
All right, here we go. So we got We Drivers. Doesn't that look like Aunt B on there?
It sure does.
Tells you how to drive. So that came with the car. Slippery weather, oh man, winter.
I got it.
Yeah. Several suggestions involves shifting gear.
There you go. I can't believe it. Look at
I
that.
got that book, huh?
And this came with the car.
Yeah, it did.
And here's your white collar conservative at the wheel. I love it. Not to leave the women out there. They're also featured prominently there.
It kind of adds a little bit of value.
Unbelievable.
To this thing in my mind.
Yeah, no, those are good.
Here's your 50 Buick owner's manual.
So this was the actual car's owner manual.
The road, you see, it's got the Roadmaster, the Dynaflow, the Special, and the Super.
And the Super.
That's what they had going in those years.
So on a Roadmaster, the Ventaports is what they called those in the hood. A Roadmaster actually, because it's the top-end car, has 4 of those, whereas this car only has 3.
Actually, in 1950, I think they both had they called it the 3-holer, but the Super had 2.
Really?
So in 50, they went to the 3-hole on the Special and the Roadmaster, and then I think 51 is when the Roadmaster went to the 4.
Okay, there you go. You know more about it than I do.
This 1950 Buick Fastback seems to have everything that John is looking for. Up next, we'll see if this Fastback drives as good as she looks. John was able to locate a rare 1950 Buick Fastback owned by our new friend Larry, who may be willing to let the car go for the right price. While both the exterior and interior seem to be in fair condition at a glance, let's see if Larry can get the Buick to start before John makes an offer.
Nice healthy dose.
Especially in this back one because...
Well, at this point, I'm thinking either that engine's going to start, or if they put a little bit more ether into it, it might turn into a hand grenade. Oh yeah, now that's what I'm talking about. I love the smell of starting fluid in the morning. That's some real honest to God American heavy metal right there. That's what I'm talking about right there, man. I absolutely have a buyer for this car. You could just tell that it was time for that car to go out on the road. It was time for it to find a new owner.
stop. One of the things I like to do too is test the emergency brake. It's working.
Just to make sure you got backup.
Well, I ain't driven the damn thing in so long, you know, and it's not too much older than me, but I get going. I have a hard time stopping too, John. All right, here we go.
How cool is this?
Yep, there's the horn. See, I told you that horn don't want to work if you're just sitting there.
That's amazing.
Because they don't think you need to honk at anything if you're just sitting static, you know? Scoop me up.
Oh.
Yeah. Quit looking at me. What? You see something you like?
Man, you have got to love this car. I mean, this thing is just in phenomenal condition.
Okay, whoops.
Well, we were test driving that Buick, and great test drive, but right in the middle of it, it stalled. And you know, all it was that the car hadn't been driven for a long, long time. That car needs to go out and be stretched out on the highway and run, 70 miles an hour for a couple of hours and blow all the carbon out of the valves and just stretch it out some, So, yeah, I was a little worried there when the motor died. But when we looked at it, and the more I thought about it, it just needs to be driven, and that's probably why it's time for Larry to not own it anymore.
Larry had gotten the car appraised at $10,000 in its current condition, but he seems to think that with the shop manuals and the current key, there's much more value to the car, and he might try to give John a run for his money. Let's find out what John had in mind.
You definitely wouldn't take $9,000 for the car?
9. Well, how about I keep the books?
Larry doesn't seem to think that John is offering him a very fair price, so he countered with an offer of $11,000. John knows that the car isn't worth quite that much, but they'll have to come to some sort of compromise if John wants to get his hands on this Buick and the books.
Well, you drive a hard bargain, my friend. What do you think about $10,500 for a little transaction that maybe you can move on? And I'm pretty sure that's going to please your sweetheart too. You think you could go at 10.5?
Yeah, I think I could probably. It's gonna hurt me, John. You're hurting me.
Yeah, let's go at 10,500, buddy. What do you say? Shake on it?
It's a deal.
All right, I love it, man. We bought ourselves a 50 Buick two-door fastback. I love that
Congratulations as the new owner.
Thanks, man.
I think for the condition as is, he's offered me a fair price. Not a great price, but a fair price, and I can live with that. Like I said, I'll go hunt and find me another one in the not too distant future.
After a rough start, the day is ending up well for the American Car Prospector. Let's tally things up. Purchase price on this 1950 Buick Fastback two-door, $10,500. John's prospector fee for this rare find, $3,000. John will offer this to his buyer's group for $13,500. A fully restored 1950 Buick Fastback can be priced at over $20,000. Looks like the American Car Prospector has done it again.
Super nice guy. We ended up making a deal for that Buick Torpedo Fastback. So it just was a really fun day for me to both find that Corvette and then to just stumble onto that awesome Fastback Buick. I mean, that was just crazy great.
Coming up next on the American Car Prospector, John runs into an old friend with something hidden behind his garage. And John is knocking on doors that he probably shouldn't be knocking on.
What the hell?
Hey, buddy, I read your
You know
sign.
how to
I'm the
read or
one that
what?
I called you. I'm John. I called you about the Charger.
John who?
So far, John has picked up a beautiful, fully restored 1966 Stingray from a seller who was hesitant to sell his prized possession at first. John also worked over Larry on a 1950 Buick Fastback and walked away with the title at a very reasonable price. Now, the American Car Prospector has a lead on a BMW 1600 and is hoping to make another deal.
I've got a buyer in Europe that wants to restore an old BMW 2002 or preferably a 1600 from the late 60s. And I was doing a little research and found one that doesn't run out in East Denver. I called the guy up and he said, hey, just come by and knock on the garage. I'm out in the shop working. So the garage door comes up and this guy introduces himself, and his name is Lorenzo, and he got it right away. I went to summer camp with this guy decades ago. I've known this guy for 50 years. Oh, wait, stop.
Yes.
You're, I know you, you're,
Unbelievable.
I used to call you the Nightcrawler.
That's right. We went
I
to the
remember
summer
you,
camp together.
brother.
John, how have you been?
After some quick catching up with Lorenzo, the American Car Prospector wants to get right down to business with this 1600 series BMW.
You need the space. Oh, and you have something else sitting here.
This is a 1952 Crosley Deluxe.
Any other day, this rare 1952 Crosley Deluxe would be a great find for the American Car Prospector. But John knows that he has an anxious buyer looking for a 1600 series BMW, and this Crosley will just have to wait.
Well, the nice part about the BMW transaction was I actually knew the guy. And so I'm hoping to get a little bit of a sweetheart deal. You never know. I mean, it's amongst friends and it was a great car. We'll have to see how it works out. It's got some Bondo in it right there.
You see a little better?
So now this is a 1600, right?
Yeah,
Have you got a title for it?
I do.
You do?
Yep. It doesn't run. It's just been sitting here taking up space. Battery's dead. But
I mean, it looks
if
like
you
it's
think
all
that you
here.
can use it,
It's pretty much complete.
it's pretty complete. Those are different seats than what were original, so they're in pretty good shape.
I already decided that car is mine. Now I just got to get the owner of the car to agree with me. It will.
But, I mean, the battery is dead.
Well,
But this has the special European front parking lights, which are,
oh, I see.
different than
Those
the
are Europe.
2002s.
That's Europe only for that. Now this is what my buyer wanted, was a European. What kind of condition is it underside? Is it pretty good?
It's good. It will run. I think it's open like that. I mean, so it is complete. It doesn't have like a rat cage. Is that cobwebs in there?
Yeah, it had a few little like spider houses in it or something, but yeah, it's all here.
Just needs a jump and it would start with the
Really?
right priming of the carburetor.
Well, my buyer is going to do a complete restoration, so that's probably not critical, but I appreciate that it's a complete car. That's what you represented on the phone, and that's what I was really looking for. If this car was in Europe, or maybe in Houston, it would be all rusty and not worth repairing. That's why that's why we're looking for one today, is for a European buyer. Well, the one thing about that BMW was that he was asking $3,000 for it. I couldn't give him that much for it, and frankly, it wasn't worth it. He's also a very shrewd negotiator, that guy. I'm just not sure that I'm going to end up with this car where I need to be. Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm looking for, buddy. What kind of money were you thinking?
Didn't I have it in for like $3,000?
Yeah. Oh, whoa, time out.
Is that too much?
Yeah.
John, you're a big movie star now. Come on.
Hey, I love you, but I'm not giving you $3,000 for this car, okay?
Oh.
I just can't do that.
If Lorenzo thought for a second that he would get John to pay $3,000 for this 1600 series BMW, he's got another thing coming. John knows that the value is much lower due to the car's current condition. But how much lower was he thinking?
25.
1,100.
Ouch. Ouch. 1,800. Come on, John.
1,200.
15.
How about $1,400?
Cash.
For me, cash.
Cash. Americano.
1,400.
Cash.
1,400.
1,400.
All right.
All right.
Thanks. Well, that BMW turned out to be the car that we're going to send to Europe, and Lorenzo and I will probably go out and have a refreshing beverage and get caught up real soon.
It looks like John had no problem strong-arming his old pal into submission. Lorenzo let this 1600 series BMW go for only $1,400. John was able to knock the price in half, and he got a great deal on the car. And although Lorenzo had some interesting plans for this car, it sounds like the BMW is better off in the hands of the American Car Prospector. Let's tally things up. Purchase price on this 1600 series BMW, $1,400. John's prospector fee for this sweet find, $2,000. John will have another happy buyer after offering this rare find to him for only $3,400. Maximum potential on this vehicle could go up to $18,000. Time to chalk up another one for the American Car Prospector. Next on the American Car Prospector, will John find the Charger he's looking for? Or will this ornery biker keep it hidden away?
You don't know how to read or what?
The American Car Prospector is trying to finish off the day with one more find.
So after I got the BMW done and I left the Renzos, I had heard about a 66 Dodge Charger, a builder, supposed to be complete. This guy that's got it, his name is Turk, okay? That's the only name we have for him, it's just Turk. No last name, no first name, just Turk. Okay, there's a beware a biker sign on the door. Well, only two things are gonna happen when you go to a door and they have a sign like that on the door. You're probably either going to get a
hell?
Hey, buddy, I read your sign. I'm the one that
what?
I called you. I'm John. I called you about the Charger.
John who?
John Hames. I called you a little bit ago about the Charger. Remember?
Yeah.
We spoke just a minute ago. I read your sign. I'm sorry, but you said it was all right if I came by.
So you're the guy that was on the phone.
That was me. I promise.
All right. You want the Charger?
Yeah, I'm interested in that Charger.
Okay. How much money you got?
I got cash money. $5,000 or more.
Well, we're gonna have to come up a little bit, but
okay.
keep talking.
And you say your name is Turk?
Yeah.
Hi, Turk.
How you doing?
Sorry
John?
to interrupt you there.
Not a problem.
Appreciate you. You're probably taking it easy when I should, but
Sort of.
sorry about that. Let me. Maybe you can meet me out in back. Let's take a look
not
at
a
it.
problem.
We're just about out of light.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay, I'll meet
Run
you
out
back
and
there.
back. I'll be right there.
Thanks, buddy. Well, I got the hard part out of the way, which was to knock on the door and get him to come to the door and get him to keep working with me. Well, he decided that we could go out and look at the car, so I'm really excited to go out there and take a look at this Charger. So this is a automatic?
Yes.
It is an automatic. Would that be a 727?
727, yeah.
Okay. It's a 727, and it had a small block.
It originally came in a small block, according to VIN, and I did a little research on the engine that's in it, and it's actually got a 361 truck motor in it.
So somewhere along the line, somebody swapped the motor. And
Yeah, I kind of think that some young guy had the car and the engine went and somebody sold him the 361 as a 383, you know.
right.
Because, you know, obviously they look the same.
And I think you said it had been sitting here quite a while.
Well, I've had the car for years.
John is well on his way to making his final purchase of the day. After the break, we'll see if John can close the deal on this diamond in the rough on the American Car Prospector. After breaking the ice with Turk, the American Car Prospector is well on his way to securing his final purchase of the day. He still needs to check out the condition of the car, but John seems optimistic about this Dodge Charger.
Well, at the moment, this is my heart's desire. Can we kind of look at it for a minute?
Sure.
All right.
Yourself out.
Well, let's see. How about, I think that hood will come open?
I believe it should.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to open. That Charger was a great project car. It was complete for the most part. It had a non-matching numbers engine in it, which is typical.
Actually, that motor does turn over.
Is that right?
Yep,
So it's not locked up.
not locked up.
Well, for a full restoration, it probably doesn't make much difference. but it could easily be rebuilt into a really nice resto rod. It could be restored completely. Truthfully, it could be rat rotted. Almost anything could happen. Wow, look at that fastback. That's a classic design there. Anyhow, the console's there. There's no dash.
Yeah, the dash module is missing.
This is a really great builder right here. I mean, that door seam is just as straight and even as it was the day it left the factory. There's not one bit of evidence that this has ever been hit. I think this Charger could be a great project car for one of our owners who are interested in this type of thing. It's a nice dry car, completely straight and solid. Really a nice builder. There is a way to get that open, but it looks like the trunk mechanism is gone. Oh, there it is. Look at that, the hubcaps. That thing weighs about, 6 pounds. That's the real deal there. All 4 of them are in there. There's some more trim. There's some more of the interior trim and probably the original spare. Yeah, there's not a bit of rust in this thing. Well, I really like this car, Turk. It's a good builder for someone who wanted to do a Hemi tribute car or a Restorod maybe, or a straight up restoration of a 66. You could do a lot worse than starting with this one.
Definitely.
Yeah, I want this car. What do you say we try to make a deal on it?
Get the checkbook out.
I only deal in cash.
Let me see the color of it.
All right, I will. Well, let me see here. Let's you and I have a little convention here and talk about money, huh? Let's try to make a deal.
So far, today has been a great day for the American Car Prospector. John has managed to secure 3 new finds for his buyers group, make 3 new friends, and worked out some friction with Turk. Now, let's see if he can make a 4th and final purchase before the sun sets.
Okay, Turk, so we got a 66 Charger here that hadn't run in a long time, but it does have a good straight body, I'll give you that. What kind of money were you thinking?
All things considered, I was going to start at 10.
10?
Yeah.
Oh,
And you got to understand, there aren't a lot of those around. That's first generation Charger. That's the first year.
And I'll give you that. It is a good first year Charger, I'll give you that. But I was really thinking more like, like 55, 600.
No way.
No, you're not going to sell it for
No,
6,000?
Yeah, no. It'll sit there for...
Another 20 years?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Or until I come up with enough money to do it myself.
Or to fix it, huh?
Sure.
Well, let's see. Turk, I can't pay you 10 for it. There's got to be a little meat on the bone for me because
I understand.
65?
Come on up a little more.
7?
You're getting close.
Well, I really want this car. I feel like I'm giving the farm away. How about 7,500?
Make it $8,000 and we got a deal.
8 G's?
Yep.
Today?
Today. Or tomorrow.
Or tomorrow.
Or the next day.
Okay, but we got to move it shortly.
Whenever you're ready to move it.
Yeah, I think we could probably move it tomorrow. It's a little late in the day now, but we could probably get it tomorrow. 7,500?
$8,000.
8,000. All right.
$8,000. We got a deal.
All right, 8,000. Okay. All right, we'll come. We'll be here tomorrow. We'll call you and swing by with the truck and trailer and winch it on and take
Sounds
it.
like a deal.
Yeah, I think somebody else needs to get it, Turk. You've taken care of it.
Yeah, I do too. Like I said, I've always wanted to do something with it because I love the body style, I love the fastback, and I love the idea that it's a first year Charger.
Yeah.
And honestly, I hate to see the car go, but I'd rather somebody got it that would restore it or do
Do something with it.
mod resto or something with it you know, rather than just having it sit here and deteriorate any further.
Well, and then you can move the other car back here and get your driveway back.
Well, I can move one of them out of my shop,
There you go.
you know, so have some room in there.
Yeah, so you got a shop. Is there any other cars down there that are kind of interesting?
Got a 78 street van, big block van.
Oh, wait, time out. Did you have a Dodge street van?
Yes.
You're talking about one of those great big, like it was like a 3/4 or half-ton van
Yep.
that had a big block in it?
Yep,
You've
half-ton.
got one of those?
Yes.
But you might think about separating with that?
I wouldn't sell that truck.
You wouldn't?
No.
You got a street van down there though,
Yes,
huh?
I do.
Well, we got you to $8,000 today on the Charger. Maybe another day we'll get a little more. Dirk's tough. He's just a tough customer.
I'm kind of a private person. I don't really, you know, get along with a lot of people, obviously. So that's why I put the sign up there. I don't get a lot of cowboy hats in the window. And I thought, well, actually, after talking to John and going over the car and all that, I'm really kind of glad he knocked on the door and didn't take the sign seriously and just run off.
It's a good thing that the American Car Prospector bit the bullet and knocked on Turk's door. They may have had a rough start, but now they've been bonded thanks to American muscle. And even though Turk may have wanted to hold on to the Charger, it sounds like it was a good time to let it go.
Well, honestly, I really kind of hate to get rid of it, you know, but the bottom line is you got to let go of stuff after a while. You can't just hang on to everything forever.
Let's tally things up. Purchase price on this 1968 Dodge Charger, $8,000. John's prospector fee for this rare Charger, $3,000. It looks like John will be offering this to his buyers group for $11,000. A restored 1968 Charger can sell for more than $25,000, making this another great discovery for the American Car Prospector.
Okay, this 60 Charger is probably the best Charger that could be found in the state at this time. I really like this car. This 66 Charger is another ace in the hole for the American Car Prospector.